welcome back to the Square. I am your host, Curtis the Fifth.
And I'm Curtis the Fourth.
And we are back from our 1 week hiatus. A little bit of a scheduling conflict last week. So we apologize, but we're back in action. So we are now in week 7. And what a week. So much happened last week. A lot of injuries, a lot of stuff to get to there. There's a lot of stuff going on in sports right now. Basketball is about to start tomorrow, I believe, or maybe tonight. I can't even remember.
No, it starts tonight.
Yeah.
Baseball
playoffs are right now.
Started last week. Shout
Football.
out to the White Sox. Got a good run.
Rest in peace.
Yeah, rest in peace. Congratulations to the Chicago Sky.
That did happen as well.
Yes,
Chicago Sky went ahead and won the WNBA
That
finals.
happened.
First one in their franchise history.
That's right.
So it's a great time to be a sports fans right now. We'll probably soon get back into the NBA talk as the season gets going. Maybe do an episode or two about that, but that's for some other time. Right. Let's talk football this week. Let's start with the Week 6 recap, which, again, action-packed all week long. Was actually a little bit of a shorter week with the bye week starting this week. But we kicked things off on Thursday with Tampa getting a win versus Philadelphia. Not really too much to talk about there. But we do have a London game with the home team Jaguars getting their first win of the season, 23-20 over the sorry Miami Dolphins.
I have to say, very exciting game, actually.
Honestly.
I mean,
yeah, it was a great way to wake up.
Considering there was only a 10% win share between the two teams combined. You would have never known watching these two teams play
20% now.
Well, now, I mean, as they met, going into the game, going into to the coin flip. But very exciting game. Congratulations, Jacksonville. Y'all made that worth my wow.
Yeah, honestly, it was a much better game than last week's London game with Atlanta and the Jets. So it was definitely a thrilling game to watch and have that one finish out quite well. Tua didn't have a horrible game, but wasn't able to pull it out. James Robinson, he's that guy right now. 17 carries, 73 yards, and a touchdown. But yeah, Miami they kind of just fell apart in the second half. That third quarter, they couldn't get anything done.
Right.
So not really too much there, but congrats, Jacksonville. To the noon window of Sunday of this past week, Chicago unfortunately falls to the boogeyman of the NFC North and the Green Bay Packers. And the only thing I have an issue with, because I didn't have an issue with the way Chicago played. Obviously, they're down David Montgomery, so their run game is taking a hit. Khalil Herbert actually had a pretty nice game, 19 carries, 97 yards, and a touchdown himself. Need to see more out of Justin Fields for sure in the mishaps, miscommunications that happened. Refs were 100% against Chicago in this game. Did not like that. But the only story coming out of this week is Aaron Rodgers saying, "I still own you," as he scored that final touchdown in the fourth quarter. It's like, yeah, that's fine, but you almost lost to a team that doesn't have an offensive identity right now.
It was a complete a-hole move. He could sit there and say it's like
but, big. And the other thing is, I don't have a problem with Aaron Rodgers saying that. Yes, we're 22-5 against. He's 22-5 against us right now, that's perfectly fine. What I have an issue with is the media. Just every single second of Sunday and Monday, all they wanted to talk about. No other conversations besides Monday night after the Bills fall. Now everybody wants to talk about that, obviously. But going into that game, it's just, oh, and Aaron Rodgers still shits on Chicago.
And let's not treat this like they were evenly matched. I mean, Chicago's coming in with a decimated offense. No offensive. I mean, a very suspect offensive line. When you're missing your number one and your number two running backs. Yeah, and Khalil Herbert had a great game, which tells me Chicago has 3 good running backs. Great, wonderful. But the point being is, when your depth is cut that low, and then you're still having the woes and struggles with Allen Robinson, and we're still getting Justin Fields adjusted to the NFL game. He is a rookie. What is it, in his third start of his career? And you're going against a veteran like Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers. I'm like, oh, you only won by 10? I mean, at the end of the day, you don't own.
And it was a defensive blunder
Right. You
on
don't own anything.
He was past the line of scrimmage. I had a real bad issue with the Chicago defenders reacting to that pump fake the way that they did. Like there was any other option for him but to run. Like there's 4 of you. 2 of you can rush him, and the 2 of you can fall back and stay in coverage, and you'll be just fine. Whether he was going to pump fake, actually throw the ball, or run, that play should have never happened. So again, congrats to Green Bay. You guys played a somewhat solid game. Still need to figure out your offensive identity as well, but it is a divisional game, so Chicago does have some things figured out on Green Bay and making it really tough for them. And plus, Chicago really did beat up on Green Bay in this game. They lost, I think, 3 or 4 guys in this game due to Chicago's defense really just kind of roughing up Green Bay's offense. So they did not come out unscathed in this game, and the way people are trying to rag on Chicago for losing this game and reacting to Aaron Rodgers' little quip at the end of the game, come on. This is a non-story, and really the story should be not that our Green Bay frauds are by any means, but come on, they should be doing better than what they have been.
Mm-hmm.
So
true, that is true, and it is what it is. We both figured,
I took Chicago. I thought they could get a win at home.
Well,
but
we both didn't figure. I figured Green Bay would find a way to pull it out, only because I understand.
It's my fandom poking through.
I just understand where Chicago is right now, and that's fine. But at the end of the day, I look at what the final score was. Wasn't a blowout. Very competitive, and a few plays here and there. Yeah, it could have been a completely changed.
The refs are horrible. The refs are bad.
I didn't get to see all of that.
Yeah,
but
no, it's not. I'm not even just talking about Chicago's game. Cleveland's been getting screwed over by the refs quite a bit lately. There is multiple games this past week where you're just looking like, what are these calls? You saw it in the Dallas game where they throw a flag, they have to have a 15-minute conference to talk about the flag just to pick the flag back up because it shouldn't have been thrown in the first place. It's just let's. There's some rule changes that need to come to the NFL, and we'll probably talk about that during our news segment. And some things that clearly need to be fixed with the NFL officiating and rules. But
what else we got?
Bengals beat the Lions, but there's really not too much. I mean, the Bengals look good against the Lions too. They really just kind of cruised, but not too much to talk about there. Really want to see how the Bengals play against some better competition soon. Colts beat up on the Texans 31-3. As they should have at home. Rams absolutely demolished the Giants 38-11. The Giants never stood a chance in this game. They kind of were feeling themselves after that 3-0 first quarter, and then the Rams come out 28-0 in the second quarter to just kind of shut them up real quick and to finish out this game.
And it was the Cup Bowl.
Yeah.
130 yards, 2 touchdowns. I mean, just oh god.
9 receptions. It's just
how many targets?
I don't have that on hand.
26? No, I'm
kidding. 94. He had. Why is that not a? I don't want. Okay, I don't have that right now.
Yeah, I'll just if you had it on hand, that's fine. Just keep
going. But yeah, the Rams look like themselves again here, just kind of cruising. The Chiefs had a rocky start, but pull out the win 31-13 against Washington on the road there, so they're back to 500. Chiefs need to start taking care of the football more. This is getting out of hand.
It is, but the first half very sloppy play.
Very sloppy.
It seemed like they just wasn't on the same page. But if you want to go back to even their Super Bowl year. It was the same MO. I don't know what it is about the first quarter. Definitely the first quarter. But they just just like they have to spend the first quarter just trying to figure out what they want to do in that game. Like who are they today? It's the most
I just have
bizarre
an issue
thing I've seen with them. But yeah, they get from the middle of the second quarter on, generally that's when they click.
This team will be unstoppable if they would just take care of the football. Like, because even if you don't score on every single drive, which nobody's expecting you to, I'm not saying that you have to. My only thing is that you have to be better at just taking care of the football. The kind of flip up interception from Pat Mahomes, that's horrible. Tyreek Hill, if the ball hits you in the hands, you need to bring that thing in, especially with the gloves that you're wearing.
Or knock the ball down.
No, because both times that the interception is 100% Tyreek Hill's fault, he's wide open, in the open field, and should easily catch this ball. I don't know what it is about him taking his eyes off the ball 2 seconds too early, and him letting these balls just get knocked up in the air and picked off.
Look here. If you can move as fast as a cheetah, then maybe we can start answering these questions.
You're a wide receiver. Get it figured out.
Hey, he's moving way faster than anything we can talk about. But maybe his brain is moving just as fast.
That's perfectly fine.
He was already in the end zone.
It's costed a couple of wins here. So that's got to get figured out very fast, because and I'm not trying to absolve Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes has multiple interceptions that are 100% just bad throws. But that specific one, the first interception that he threw, 100% Tyreek Hill's fault. The second interception that he threw, 100% Pat Mahomes' fault. Like, what is take the sack?
150%. It's like, you have no business. I think we were discussing that. Like, you have no business. You out here looking like, that's something I would expect Davis Mills, Zach Wilson.
You know what my main issue with that interception is? I'm almost certain that was second down. It wasn't even third down.
I don't know. It was very uncharacteristic. It did not look like anything remotely possible that Pat Mahomes could pull a play like that off.
Yeah.
Like, as you said, just take the sack, or hell, intentional ground. Do anything but give up the damn ball.
You definitely don't flip it up 30 feet in the air just to allow the time for somebody to come get under it.
Exactly. This wasn't the fourth quarter with a minute or seconds
half.
left. Exactly. It's like, what in the world? Yeah, I don't know. Maybe
the first half and you're down by 3.
Maybe
Relax.
That was one of those what do you call it? Though? Tom Brady, what fourth down, fifth down?
Oh yeah,
type.
Just a fourth down.
What down is it? What down is it now?
Okay.
Is it third down? Yeah. Like, come on. Anyway, but they still came out with a 31-13.
I mean, they figured it out in the second half
completely and just wiped out the first half.
Yeah,
automatically.
So
congrats.
And by the way, Washington, your defense is fraudulent. I think I said it last week, or I was going to say it last week, but definitely something that we have an issue with. I don't know what it is, and
they're not that team.
Yeah. If I have any correction that I can make from my from our preseason talks here, mine would be definitely Dallas winning this division, because man, that's a bad take looking at it right now.
Not a good one.
Not at all. Let's talk. Well, Minnesota gets an overtime win with against Carolina on the road here. Carolina, this game, all I could really say is, Carolina, you got to start better. Like, I know the whole adage is it's not how you start, it's how you finish, but you can't come out of a deficit the way that you did. You dug yourself a hole in this game.
Yep.
And there was no way you could come back from that, especially with a guy like Dalvin Cook in the backfield who can just run out the clock as much as he wants. So,
I mean, they can get what do they call it? They got a moral victory, but I mean, that's not worth a hill of beans right now, because
not when you're on a 3-game losing skid right now.
You came back in a game you shouldn't have been down in the first place, but then you get it to overtime and then you botch it. And it's just like, okay, so when it was all said and done, you just prolonging the inevitable here. And so it's like, here you go. And now Minnesota gets I guess you could say semi-impressive, win. I mean, they did what they had to do, and they hung in there. But I'm saying that over the body of work, that team is just as in flux as what Carolina is in right now as well. There's two teams that's just, for whatever reason or another, finding themselves in these barn burner type games, and just, it's really trying to, down in the fourth quarter into some type of slugfest, coming down to which kicker is going to come back and be able to, pull us out of this. And I'm just like, this is teams like this. We can sit there and say they're impressive, they're good. We can break down the analytics, but I'm just going to cut to the chase. These are not contending Super Bowl title teams at all.
Yeah, and
They're
by
up
the
and
way,
coming teams.
with you saying that, I want to mention something. I've been seeing this thread going around on the internet recently, especially after this game here. Kirk Cousins on the season, his touchdown interception ratio is 13-2 right now. And with that being said, I've seen a lot of Minnesota fans start getting online and trying to petition that everybody needs to back off of Kirk Cousins and this dude should be an MVP candidate and whatnot. And first of all, no. Second off, at the end of the day, I don't think.
No.
I mean, because, and I'll get to my reasoning why in a second, but to me, this Vikings team and Kirk Cousins, I don't think I've ever made it clear. I don't think Kirk Cousins is a bad quarterback. My issue with Kirk Cousins is he's got this fully guaranteed contract that's worth over $80 million. To me, Kirk Cousins is a quarterback that is never even going to make it to the conference championship, let alone win you a Super Bowl.
Right.
So that's my only issue with Kirk Cousins. Now, when it comes down to the point of MVP candidacy, I'm sorry, but your play needs to translate into wins. Kirk Cousins has always gotten the stats. He's always been the stats guy. That's the whole reason why he got the contract in the first place, because everybody was saying, well, it's because he was in Washington and under Jay Gruden for so long is the reason why he couldn't get any playoff success. And it's like, no, it's just because he's an average quarterback who has he can play above average for sure, but he's not elite. He's not this dude that's going to carry your team, and he's not worth a fully guaranteed contract. He is a decent he's a decent day-to-day game manager, and that's okay. But that means you need to build an entire team around him, which means he does not deserve the contract that he does. And it's as simple as that. He's not bad. I know there's a lot of teams that would take him on their team right now. But as it stands right now, he is not a Super Bowl contending or a guy that I don't think anybody believes outside of Minnesota is going to win you a Super Bowl.
Let's be clear. A lot of teams would take him, but not with that contract.
Not at all.
That contract is not